Big day today. Lucas, what'd Santa Claus bring you?
Suspension.
Suspension for the sporty. You can tell he's super pumped. Let's get started. First impression. For just under $1,000, I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm a little curious what the longevity will be at this price point, so we'll do a follow-up after a few thousand miles. The directions on the rear shocks were pretty clear. Install was pretty straightforward. The directions on the front cartridge inserts leave a little to be desired though. Quote, pausing to stroke the assembly to get the fluid into the outer fork slider, end quote. That's a little ambiguous, and what they meant to say was, while adding the 123 cc's of 10-weight fork oil, pause every 10 cc's. Any more than that, and you're going to make a huge mess. Also, stroke the assembly very slowly, or it will burp fork oil everywhere. Preload fine-tuning for the cartridges. Progressive recommends 6 preload spacers, no more than 8, no less than 4. And it would be nice if they gave a window as far as rider weight and recommended space for stacking, because to make adjustments, you're going to have to completely disassemble the fork leg. Since it's not mentioned in the directions, take a measurement of where your bike is sitting on the kickstand before jacking it up off the ground. Because of the internal gas damper, as opposed to the factory oil damper, you don't get the same leg drop. And after completing the first fork leg and putting it back on the bike, I almost had a minor cardiac event after comparing the two fork legs. It would also be nice if Progressive would include a recommended tool section. For the Sportster specifically, you're going to need a 12mm 3H drive deep Allen key, a 39mm fork seal driver, fork cap socket, fork oil leveling tool. Thankfully, I already had this one from rebuilding my Dynaforks. Otherwise, I'm not sure how I would have got the fork oil into the fork legs. Extreme pressure grease. This is for the bushing on the rear shocks. Everything pictured above I bought off of Amazon. I'm assuming these points aren't in Progressive's directions because they make these cartridge inserts and shocks for many different motorcycles. But how long would it take to make installation instructions for each model now that they've created a template? Overall, I would say install was like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for difficulty. If you couple Progressive's directions with the surface manual, a lot of profanity, and a little patience, it's a messy job, but it's not a big deal. Would I recommend these products? Well, that depends on your riding style. If you enjoy the feeling of riding a hardtail that the factory Harley-Davidson Sportster suspension provides, then no, get a mouthpiece and hang on. If you're not a super aggressive rider who mostly cruises, wants a better ride, then yes. These are about 5 times better than the factory Sportster setup. For riders with a tendency to be a little more on the aggressive side, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Let's lay down some miles. Okay, Lucas. They're not a sponsor, so be honest. What do you think of the 490s and the Progressive inserts up front?
I mean, they're pretty good, but like on some parts, it is a little stiff. But
Better than factory.
yeah, it is better than factory.
So overall, are you pleased?
Yeah.
Man, a few words. There you have it. Don't worry, I'll edit all this so that it makes us look like pros.